Let's go hands-on with Apple's newest 15-inch MacBook Air. Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here, and Apple has just taken the wraps off what may be its most popular Mac to date. Apple has refreshed the MacBook Air, but not with a new 13-inch model. No, it has introduced a new 15-inch model that's going to give this thing a run for its money. I got to go hands-on with the new MacBook Air, and this is exactly what I was hoping for to see in the 15-inch MacBook Air. It has a 15.3-inch display, which is substantially larger than the 13.6-inch display on the existing MacBook Air. It has a larger display, but still the same pixel density of 224 ppi as the 13-inch model. It's slightly taller than the 13-inch model at 0.45 inches compared to 0.44 inches on the 13-inch. It's also slightly heavier as well, tipping the scales at 3.3 pounds compared to 2.7. Another new feature of the 15-inch MacBook Air is the audio system. Apple is using a 6-speaker audio system on the upgraded MacBook Air, and that includes force-canceling woofers. Comparatively, the 13-inch MacBook Air only has a set of 4 speakers on the inside. Apple also says these are great for listening to spatial audio. It was a little bit hard to tell how the spatial audio was working on my hands-on time, but the speakers themselves sounded fantastic. I was very happy with how these sounded coming out of such a substantially thin and tiny laptop. Otherwise, the 15-inch MacBook Air is the same as the 13-inch MacBook Air. So it's still a completely fanless design on the inside, so it'll run entirely silent. Has Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3. There are 2 Thunderbolt ports on the left-hand side, as well as the slim MagSafe 3 charging port. It comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack on the right-hand side, a 1080p FaceTime camera, and of course it's rocking the M2 chip on the inside. Now that includes the 8-core CPU, though the GPU is slightly different. The 13-inch MacBook Air starts off with an 8-core GPU, though the new 15-inch MacBook Air starts off with a 10-core GPU. So you do have to upgrade to that 10-core GPU if you're on the 13-inch model, but the 15-inch will come with a 10-core GPU stock. The 13 and the 15-inch both start with 8 gigs of memory, configurable up to 24. They both start with 256 gigs of storage on the low end, configurable up to 2 terabytes, and they each boast up to 18 hours of battery life. Hey, I gotta interject for just a moment to thank our sponsor for this video, MacPaw and CleanMyMac X. It's time to keep an eye on your Mac's health. Junk files, malicious apps, and hung processes can slow down even the latest and most powerful Macs. Maintaining your Apple machine's health, whether old or new, is essential to smooth macOS performance. CleanMyMac X is an all-in-one Mac maintenance tool that takes care of old junk, faulty apps, and malware in an efficient, aesthetically pleasing, and hassle-free way. Using the app's menu, you can monitor your Mac's health, CPU load, and more. With nearly 30 million downloads and 15 years of expertise, this app is a must-try for any Mac user. Run CleanMyMac X to gear up your Mac for the groundbreaking additions Apple has announced at this year's WWDC. As Apple continues to pack Macs with innovative new features, CleanMyMac X is here to ensure that your hardware is running at peak performance so that you can enjoy a seamless macOS experience. Exclusive to Apple Insider watchers, you can grab a 5% discount for CleanMyMac X down below in the description. Now, let's get back to that other coverage. The MacBook Air has always had this special place in my heart. I have loved it for ages, even though I work primarily on a MacBook Pro or a Mac Pro, something more powerful for video editing. And when I'm not in the studio, that's my thing of choice right now, is just jumping into my MacBook Air because it is so light, incredibly thin, and just wonderful to use. Now with this new 15-inch model, I think this is going to be it. This is what I'm going to be traveling with more often than not. It's just such a perfect blend of the performance and the power of the M2, but with a larger screen. You don't have to go all the way up to the Pro that adds substantial weight and more power than a lot of people need for your typical daily workflow. This thing was just a joy to use. The screen looks gorgeous, as I'm sure you would expect that it would. If you've seen the 13-inch MacBook Air, just imagine just slightly bigger, and you'll have an idea on what the new 15-inch model is like. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for the new 15-inch MacBook Air? Are you picking one up? They're available to order right now. There's links for them down below in the description. They will start shipping next week if you are watching this video a week before these come out, but otherwise, enjoy it. That is the new 15-inch MacBook Air.